What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Swift video. In this video, we're going to learn how to put together a really cool onboarding flow for your SwiftUI app. So we're going to put together what you see here, very simple looking screen for onboarding. And when you tap this, you get this really nifty animation to go to the next screen. It animates in a different component, different image, different title, message, whole 9 yards. And this actually does loop, but we'll talk about, how to bring in more pages and dismiss it and all that good stuff. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm a huge fan of this animation. I could sit here forever and just kind of hit this. But anyways, make sure you destroy that like button before we get into it. Get excited. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Hit subscribe and that bell icon while you're at it. Get Xcode ready, get excited. Let's talk about some onboarding in SwiftUI. Quick pause before the video. This video is brought to you by iOSacademy.io. If you're interested in building some of the top apps from around the world like YouTube, Instagram, Uber, and Facebook, head on over to iOSacademy.io and toss in your email in the waitlist form here to be notified as content becomes available. Content includes interview prep, free courses, premium content, how to build TikTok, Messenger, Instagram, and anything else you could think of in between. That said, let's get into the video. All right, we're gonna get started by opening up Xcode and creating a new project here. We're gonna stick with the app template under the iOS tab. Let's go ahead and call this SwiftUI Onboarding. Make sure, of course, your interface and lifecycle are SwiftUI and your language is Swift. Go ahead and continue, and we'll save this guy onto our desktop. Once we've done that, let me go ahead and expand our Xcode window. Let's hit this resume button to get our preview to start loading. And the first thing we're going to want to go ahead and do is head on over to the link in the description for this GitHub repo. It's called a concentric onboarding view, and we're going to want to bring it into the project. So we're going to bring it in via Swift packages. So go ahead and copy that URL. Let's head back to our Xcode project. And up here, we want to go ahead and select File, Swift Packages, and Add Package Dependency. Go ahead and paste in that URL and hit Continue. We can leave all this stuff as is. It's just pulling in the latest version. Go ahead and continue, and in a few seconds, it should download and resolve it. Hit Finish, and you'll be good to go. So once we've got our dependency in, let's go back to our content view. You can go ahead and hit Command B to build, make sure everything is still compiling. And all that's left to do is to import and actually implement our onboarding view. So what we're going to do is we're going to say import concentric onboarding view, just like that. And we're going to create one of these in here. So I'm going to get rid of this text, and we're going to create this. And if we open up the constructor, I believe it's concentric onboarding view, just like that. We're going to open this up. You'll see there are two initializers. We're going to go with the longer one and talk about each of the things in here. So the first thing that we want to do is provide a collection of each of the pages in our onboarding view. So I'm just going to make that an empty array for a moment, and we're going to create those pages one at a time. The next thing is going to be the background color for each of those pages. Now, the number of elements in this array needs to match the number of pages we have. And the third thing will be the duration of the animation from one page to the next. So I'm going to put 2.0 in here, and we'll tweak this as we build it to see what the difference is. So let me go ahead and add some colors in here to get started. So we're going to say red. Instead of doing red, let's do pink. That's a bit of a nicer color. We'll do blue. And let's go ahead and do purple, just like that. Get rid of that typo. And then pages here, we want to actually bring in other views. So how do we go ahead and do that? So I'm actually just going to start with a simple view down here. I'm going to actually call it a onboarding page. It's going to be a view, and every single view in SwiftUI needs a body, which will return some view. And let's see what we want to do. So let me put in a navigation view, and it's going to have a vertical stack in it. And I'm just going to start with just a simple text of hello world. Don't worry, we're going to make this a lot nicer in just a moment. And here I'm going to give it a modifier of navigation title. We're going to go ahead and call this welcome, just like that. And now in the pages array, we're going to bring in 3 of these because we have 3 colors. So we're going to want 3 views. So now that we've got this set up, let's go ahead and hit resume over here in our preview. And we'll see if our preview can actually manage rendering them. So first things first, looks like it is yelling at us because it's saying that it can't convert this onboarding view into any view. So what we can do actually here is just wrap each of these into an any view. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is actually copy and paste it for the sake of being lazy. So I'll put that one there. And I'll put that one there. And I think I forgot to copy the A, so I'll just add that just like that. Go ahead and try again over here on our preview. Looks like the error went away, and we should start seeing an update here. Boom, we see our update. So cool. So the first thing you'll notice is that we have the text in here for hello world still. So let's see why that's showing up, because that definitely should not be showing up. No, it should be showing up because it's actually right here. It's showing up. We included it into our onboarding page. You'll notice the red over here, though, is actually showing up down below. So let's go ahead and give this, instead of being a navigation view, let me get rid of this. And let's get rid of this as well. And we're just going to make this a vertical stack. All right, much better. So we've got a vertical stack. We've got our hello world, and then we've also got this circle here. And if we go ahead and we hit this play button for our live preview, we should be able to tap on this, and you get this really cool animation to go to the next view. And you saw it there twice. So let me actually hit pause. Let's take a look at that one more time. So let's hit play. And there it is. We're going to hit this. So 2 seconds for that animation. We're going to do it one more time, and now it's purple. And yeah, that's basically how you're going to switch between pages. So let's create a more elegant page here that we can actually pass in data to, because this is kind of useless right now. So cool. We have a vertical stack in here. What do we want to put in the vertical stack? So we might want a title up here. So we'll say this one is the title. Let me go ahead and give it a font. I'm going to say system size of, let's do 40. We're also going to make this bold. And let's see, right below this, I'm going to say image. And we're going to add in a system name for an image. I'm just going to hard code it to be a house right now at the moment. We're going to go ahead and say resizable. We're also going to give it a aspect ratio. So let's find that modifier on here. And we're going to say this is fits. And then we're also going to give this guy a frame with a width, height, and alignment. Let's see, 200, 200, and center. That looks about nice to me. And then let's go ahead and right below this, I'm going to add a spacer so it pushes everything up. Looks like it pushed it up a little too much. So let's go ahead and also add a spacer at the top here. All right, so it pushed it back down. And then right below this spacer, I'm going to add another text, and this is going to be the title, rather the message text. So I'm going to say some long message goes in here, just like that. And let's see, we should see it somewhere here. Let me add a spacer. Let's get rid of the spacer actually for a moment. And we should see that popping up here. Let me go ahead and hit pause and play it again. Sometimes these live previews do some wonky stuff. All right, cool. So it's popping up at the bottom here, but actually we have a spacer at the top. So let me get rid of that as well. Let's see what that does. All right, so it's all centered. I kind of want it to be pushed up to the top. So I'm going to add a spacer here. And we'll see what that does. Looks like it pushed it up a little too much. Let's add a spacer here, and let's add one more spacer here. At this point, I'm cheating and using too many spacers, but that looks to be just about what I want. So before we create this component to be more reusable, let me go ahead and add some modifiers onto the text here. So let's see, the first thing we're gonna do is font. So we're gonna say we want system font with a size, weight, and a design. So I'm gonna say, let's see, 28 should be about right. We're gonna say light, and this guy will be default, just like that, which gives us a nice looking label. And then I'm also gonna add some padding on this, just like that. Cool. So we definitely have a nice looking screen now. Actually, this should definitely be centered. Text alignment should be center on this. So let's see, let's find the alignment modifier. Let's see, alignment, we're gonna say multi-line, text alignment, and we're gonna say centered here. And this should hopefully jump to the center just like that. Now the last thing we wanna do is actually make this onboarding page component reusable. So we've hard coded the title, the image, and the message here, which we kind of don't wanna do. And the other thing I actually noticed here, I don't really want it to be black text. I want it to be white text. I think it might look a little nicer. So I'm gonna add a foreground color to each of these as a modifier, and everything should update just like that. But anyways, to continue along, we want to bring in three properties. The first one will be the title. The next one is going to be the message. And this last one will be the image name, just like that. And now we can just replace all this stuff. So this is going to be a title. This one is going to be the image name. And finally, this one will be the message. And the absolute last thing that we need to do up here, as you can see, it's already complaining, is we need to pass in those properties as parameters in the constructor of each of these views. So I'm going to line break this so it's a little cleaner to read. And let's create one of these and we'll copy and paste it and just modify it. So we've got a title, we've got a message, and we've got an image name. So the first thing we're going to say is, let's see, send messages, chat with all of your friends, and send messages in groups. And the image name, now this is a system name, so what we can do is actually open up SF Symbols, which is Apple's symbol icon library. So I'm going to search for something in here. Looks like message is one of these, so I'm going to select it, hit Command Shift C to copy it, and we're just going to paste in that name right in here for that SF symbol. And now what we can do is we can copy and paste this. So there's one more, and there's that third one. And let's see, let's fill these out. So the second one will be notifications. I believe bell is an icon. And this one is going to be profile. And there's an icon called person.circle, if I'm not mistaken, just like that. And let's change up these messages. So here we're going to say enable push notifications to stay up to date with friends and family. And this third one, we're going to change this message as well. And here I'm going to go ahead and say customize your profile page to show others what you are into. Cool. So it looks good. Now we have 2 seconds here for the animation, which I think personally I like. The other thing that I'll note is this is an array of colors. You would have to customize this if you wanted gradients. I mean, I personally think the colors are fine, but gradients are an option if you want to go the extra mile and get that set up. But anyways, let's go ahead and hit resume here. And hopefully everything is compiling, which it looks like it is. Let's hit stop and let's hit that play button one more time to get a live preview. And it looks like the image is a little large. So I'm going to come down here. Let's reduce the size of this image because we don't need it to be that obnoxiously big. So we're going to say 75, 75. Looks much better. Let's go ahead and add some padding to this. We'll say 40 for padding. We'll see what that looks like. And what we can actually also probably do is bump this up even more. Let's try 100. And this is starting to look much better. So cool, this is our first page. We can go ahead and hit this, and you get this really cool transition. And here's our second screen. Then we're gonna go ahead and hit this, and boom, there's our purple one. And that blue and purple look very similar color-wise. So let's go ahead and let's try. So we have pink, blue. Let's do orange here. And that changes it, but we're going to stop it and do this. So there's our first one. There is our second one with that awesome animation, and there is that third one. So the reason that I really like this library, concentric onboarding, is because of that really cool animation. You know, in all like fairness, building something like this is fairly trivial if you just wanted the screens, but putting together the animations might be a bit of a pain. So what you can actually do is you can keep tapping on this, and it'll actually, you know, in kind of a circular fashion, go back to the first screen, you know, once the user reaches the end. So what I would perhaps do is have a state variable, which would hold something like onboarding page index. So this would be like state var page index, and it would be 0 by default. And once you got to 2, I would just go ahead and dismiss this this view. And that's about it. That's all I've got for you guys. That's how you would create a really, really simple and clean onboarding view. Now we just have a title, image, and a message here. Of course, you could include other things. You can include haptic feedback on every screen, et cetera, et cetera. You know, the sky's the limit. Go crazy. So that's all I've got. So make sure you hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. We do Swift, SwiftUI, anything Apple, iOS related videos. Comment down below. What do you think of this component? Do you like it? Is it kind of overkill? Would you include something like it in your own app? And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.